I'm Mel Stewart, and this is the Swim Podcast. Joining me today, we have an Olympic Silver Medalist who recently popped off probably one of her best performances at the SEC Championships and, like a pro, simultaneously dropping her new Sporti Collab, the Riviera Reverie Swim and Activewear collection. Today, we have Emma Weyant.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Commit Swimming, SwimSwam's exclusive team management software partner. Since 2015, Commit's been providing coaches and swimming's leading workout management software. And now Commit has team management software, and it's fantastic. You're going to love it. They want to help you make the switch from Team Unify to a very simple platform with a more powerful solution. Their onboarding customer service team will walk you through every step of the way. Check them out at commitswimming.com. That's COMMIT swimming.com. I think that's a hard double to pull. You know, a lot of people will do their artistic side, they do their dry side, and it's hard to keep it going in the pool. You have, and you're doing it at the right time. How are you managing to get your timing so right?
Yeah, well, fortunately, the first thing is that I have the best team helping me out. This drop occurred right at the beginning of SEC, so it kind of like gave it a little bit of excitement, but also kind of like put a little bit of pressure on me to perform well as this drop was going down. And I think that made it all the more fun.
Well, we're going to get into the swim details later on, but we're going to just highlight them real quickly. First in the 500 free, 434.25. First in the 400 IM, 401.2. SEC champion. Pick up the silver in the mile, and you're split on the relay, 143.3. It's just wow! Congratulations. We'll come back to that. The Sporti Collab is like the coveted slot in swim. This is what everybody wants. It looks like it's so much fun. This is your second collection with Sporti. What was your inspiration?
So the first time Daniela and I, who's the design VP, sat down, it was right after the Sophia Richie wedding. And we both kind of had like this idea of creating a collection that was more on the classic side and kind of the part two of my first drop, a more grown-up and sophisticated line that kind of followed my journey through swimming while keeping it the staple pieces that I love.
Did you ever think, hey, maybe I'm just going to have one of these and I'm going to push off? That's it. I'm just going to do one and done.
When they asked me to do a second one, I was so excited because these are, like you said, so much fun to create and so much fun to see the execution come to life.
The shoot looks like it's so much fun. You know, there's certain brands that are legendary for having the best shoot, and everybody talks about it. I was like, I want to be with that brand. I think it's Sporti now.
Yeah, this second collection was inspired by the south of France, and we actually got to do the shoot in my hometown, Sarasota. And we rented this yacht for the day that we got to go on, and the photo shoot came out amazing, and I had my sisters there helping out. Do
you have a favorite print?
I think my favorites are the Riviera print. I'm wearing the active dress in it right now. And then also the Saint-Tropez pearl print has always been a staple for me. I've worn pearls every time I've swam, so that was kind of a personal touch to it.
I think something that's really important is how affordable Sporti is, and that these are suits that you can train in. Unpack that. Explain. If I'm the 13-year-old and I'm like, hey, I love this suit, but can I train in it? How does that work?
Yeah, I think Sporti does a really good job about creating these suits that are not only really cute, but they're durable to train in. And I think some of the most positive feedback I got from my first collection is every time I go home, all the little kids on my team are still wearing the suits from the first drop, and they're telling me how much they love them. And, you know, all the boys are asking when they're going to drop the men's suits. But, I'm really excited to go home again and see everyone in drop too.
There are other Sporti collections, and they're good Sporti collections. And I have asked the Walsh sisters about their Sporti collection, and I have to ask you the same question. Does your phone blow up when the drop happens? And it's like, everyone's like, hey, get me in, give me the sweetheart deal. What is it like when the drop happens and that media day takes place?
Yeah, this Sporti and Somella has probably the best media and marketing team I've ever seen. They kill it every time we do a launch, and all of the pictures and the videos come together. And I think that's everyone's favorite to see come to life.
Somebody's in a tough spot because this takes a huge investment in time and energy and money from mom and dad. It's a commitment, and So what do you tell parents and swimmers about purchasing this collection?
Like I said, these suits are going to last you more than just, one swim season. And they're also styles that are going to carry over to different trends. I think that's something that Sporti does really well, is they keep up with the trends. And this line in particular is more about like classic staples that you can wear all the time.
Is that what you want young swimmers to take away? Is that what you want them to know, or is there anything else?
I think I would also say that these suits are in anyone's price range, and they're also suits that fit any body type, because swimmers don't have really a one size fits all.
Well, it's not just suits. I mean, what about the activewear pieces in your collection? What's the inspiration there?
So during the first shoot, my sisters and I would wear workout skirts to every shoot because it's easy. We wear all the time. That's kind of our staple uniform. And when we were talking about doing an activewear collection, we incorporated these more like feminine pieces that, the dresses and little skirt and shirt sets. This is something that I wear all the time, and I think it adds a little cute and like more feminine vibe to all the pool decks and workouts.
When you go to meets, are you seeing Sporti more and more on the pool deck?
Yeah, for sure. I think it started really with the younger group of swimmers, high school, middle school, but now I've seen it even like when I've gone to pro series and things like that, which is really cool to see.
I'm saying it too. I think it's a Sporti takeover, but that's my opinion. I noticed that you're chilling. I'm assuming you're at home, probably into taper for NC2A championships. Westmont Pro Swim is probably never on your calendar, but help me through that. Are you hyper focused on NC2As?
I think this year I've had kind of like, among other people on the team, a kind of a unique perspective that college season is really important to us, but obviously we want to be good at the end of June. And I think it's kind of cool to have an NC2A meet to focus on as kind of our midpoint, because this team has really progressed wonderfully, and I'm really excited to see what they can do.
I was hyping up your SECs, and I did I characterize that correctly? A lot of the swim nerds here at SwimSwam are like, no, that's probably her best performance since Tokyo. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I think the past 2 years I've really been stuck on, I need to be back to where I was, but I've kind of had like a new mindset of this is a different segment of my career. That doesn't mean the goals have changed, but I think I'm on track to where I need to be, and I was really happy with how SECs went, especially being part of this women's team that's really killing it.
They are killing it. Here's from my perspective, it feels like women's sports is where it's at right now. And, if you look at basketball, you're not watching men play basketball, you're watching the women. In swimming, it feels like we have so much talent on the female side. Almost feels unfair. It's so competitive. I feel like we're in this unique moment in history. And I don't know if you think about that, if you're aware of that, it's like, does it feel unfair? It's like, wow, I'm in one of the most competitive eras in women's swimming history, or is it a source of pride?
I think even being at the conference meet and seeing the results from all the other conference meets come in, like when Gretchen dropped her 50 free, everyone's freaking out. Like, I think it's more just like we're all friends here, and it's really cool to see everyone thriving at the same time, and I think that makes NCAAs all the more exciting leading up to it.
I'm just going to put it out there. I think that maybe there's something going on that's magical with Sporti. If you have a Sporti collab, probably means you're going to pop off and do some amazing swims, because it certainly seems like the Sporti collab team, everybody's doing really well. Do you guys talk to each other? Do you like, hey, I got my collection? What do you like? Do you want some of my collection? Do you have these conversations?
Yeah, we all get sent all the Sporti collections, so we get to actually see them, and wear them, and everyone has their own like unique style. So that's really always really cool to see.
Well, I know that you know what? I don't know this. Are you tapering now? You should be in a taper, or is it like, no, I got another week of you're distance swimmer, maybe another week of hard work, and then finally get some rest.
Yeah, I am swimming the mile this year. So we stay up a little bit longer, but we have our spring break next week. So we'll get to go down a little bit and also be in the sun a little bit more.
Well, I was excited to watch you compete at SECs, and it occurred to me, I turned to my wife and I was like, she just dropped a Sporti Collection and she's doing this. And so just really happy for you and proud of you. And, if there's any takeaway that you want to leave here for anybody who's thinking, you know what, I want to be a part of this collection. I want to be wearing this on deck. What would that be?
I've always said Swim Outlet was the first suit I ever got when I started swimming. And now I've gone through not only one, but two collections. And I think these collections represent my journey through, growing up and everything like that. And I think to younger swimmers to, look at where you are now and know that there's so much greater things ahead. I've had my fair share of bumps in the road, but everything works out if you keep working hard.
We're looking forward to seeing you in Sporti at Olympic trials. And I'm going to be mindful of how much Sporti I see at Olympic trials, because what I'm hearing is there's, even on slow days, we're going to be breaking the record from Omaha, meaning we're going to have at least 15,000. And we're expecting some days projected internally, we're going to get up to 25,000. So I'm kind of curious how much Sporti I'm going to see on deck. And I hope that you can manage your stress between now and then, because I know how challenging that run up is. And best of luck at NC2As. And for anybody listening here, we're going to put all the links in for Emma's collection in the show notes. Thank you for joining us. Emma, any parting thoughts?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm excited for the season.